Okay guys, I'm so excited to do today's video. I'm gonna be thrift shopping some books. I'm really excited to kind of dive in and find some good books. So I'll give you guys a haul when I'm done, but let's jump in there. Had such a fun experience. There's so many different thrift stores to go to that have books, including thrift stores that are like just bookstores, like just secondhand bookstores. Nice to see books that are like worn and they have that like smell to them, that they're like nicely used. Also books that have like notes from other people that I've read them in the past. I love that, like when they're annotated by someone else. It's just a lot of fun. So I went in thinking I was gonna find maybe some like common thrillers or horror books or things that I typically read, and well, I walked out with some books that I really was not expecting. And I think that's kind of the fun of going into a secondhand bookstore, is that it's really easy in a new bookstore to go in with like a list of books you want to read and find them right away. And obviously in a secondhand bookstore, it's much harder to have something in mind that you want to grab. So it's kind of fun in finding things that like you at the moment think sound really interesting and just giving it a go. My big tip though, when you're going into a secondhand bookstore to go shopping, is definitely bring your Goodreads account on your phone. I highly recommend, because when you're looking at a book and you're like, this sounds really interesting, and then you pull it up on Goodreads, it really helps you to decide if you should bring it home with you or not, because sometimes I'll be like, well, this sounds really interesting, and then I'll be like rated 1 star. And don't get me wrong, sometimes 1-star books can really pull through, but it's harder to feel excited about it than a 5-star read on Goodreads. So that's just my one tip. Let's get into the books that I actually found. So I found some classics, and I'm not a classics reader, if I'm being honest. And hear me out, I honestly feel a bit scared by classics. I feel a bit scared that I won't enjoy them, or that they'll be too complicated for me. I don't know why, but I just like, there's some sort of fear around it, but I'm excited to like give these a go. But it's kind of, I guess the only analogy I can think of is it's kind of like having an expensive glass of wine. Like if you don't like that expensive glass of wine, then it like people will perceive you as just like not having good taste. Like you just don't have good taste if you don't like that wine, instead of like that's a valid unlike opinion, you know? So that's how I feel about classics. It's like if you don't like them, then you just don't know good reading. But I think that's so not true. Like I feel like no matter what, you can like and dislike a book, no matter like however you feel. But that's just kind of my fear of classics, is that if I don't like them, someone will just think you just don't have good taste. But here I am, gonna give it a go. So the first book I found was this one. It is a classic by Margaret Atwood, and it's The Handsmaid's Tale. And I just love the cover of this one. I've never seen this book in this cover, and so I thought it was a really good find, and the pages are so brown and worn and I love it. I knew nothing about this book before I picked it up. I just knew it's It's a very well read book, and the first line of them just talking about the author really drew me in. Margaret Atwood has proven her mystery at conveying the fears and uncertainties that lurk within us by forcing us to look at them from what they are. Thought-provoking, I love it. And someone quoted saying, the most poetically satisfying and intense of all Atwood novels. So of course, my first Atwood novel is going to be the most intense one, you know? So that's the main reasons I picked this up. Next book I got was The Outlander by Gil Anderson. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering any of these, but I'm also excited to read this. This is also, I think, a classic. It was in the classics section. Maybe it's like a modern classic. Maybe I'm so wrong. But I thought the cover of this was also pretty cool. It's obviously, I'm guessing, not the original cover, but dang, that's cute, right? Basically it says, in 1903, a mysterious, desperate young woman flees alone across the West, one quick step ahead of the law. She has just become a widow by her own hand. Two vengeful brothers and a pack of bloodhounds track her across the western wilderness. She is 19 years old and half-made. Gil Anderson's extraordinary novel opens in heart-pounding mid-flight and propels the reader through a gripping road trip with a twisted and steadily outlaw, and this story is a grief-struck young woman. It kind of sounds like a thriller because this girl is just like going on this crazy wilderness adventure on her own. It sounds a bit scary, but everyone is talking about how it's a like remarkable, kind of interesting style and compelling. So here we go. This is also going to be my second classic read. I mean, of course, other than the classics that you read in school, like Great Gatsby and whatnot, but this is my second non-mandatory classic read. Are you proud? Okay, lastly, the book I picked isn't a classic, so this was something I just found, and it is called The Color of Bee, Larkham's Murder. This one is by Sarah J. Harris, and the main reason I picked this up is, well, the cover is cute, but that's not the main reason. The main reason I picked this up is because on the top here with the quote, it says that readers who like the curious incident of the dog in the night will delight in this read, and that book is one of my top reads. I find it really interesting to kind of have the main character someone who's completely different and out of the ordinary, and this is a book just like that. So this follows a 13-year-old Jasper. He starts to see like this aura around people, or like this color cloud, and he sees this kind of disturbing color cloud from a neighbor across the street, which he's never seen before on anyone, and he starts to get weird vibes, and it becomes basically a mystery around this person that he sees with the strange color that he starts to investigate. So much like the Curious Incident dog of the nighttime that I'm like so intrigued, but with like a different kind of twist and a different kind of perspective on life. Anytime someone can really give me like a new lens of how to see like day-to-day normal life, I find it super intriguing. So this sounds just like that. So I'm excited that I also picked up this read and to see kind of where this lies. So yeah, those were some of the books I picked up from thrifting, and I think I'm gonna do more of these in the future. I really love doing secondhand reads, and I hope when I'm done these books I can give you guys kind of an update on one of my monthly reading updates. So stay tuned, but please comment down below which book you think I should read first. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!